All right, Wednesday, additional thoughts for Mos Def and Talib Kweli, who are Black Star, who are fucking fantastic. Let's put it that way. Oh no, I said the F word here at the beginning of the video. Not allowed to do that. Daddy YouTube's gonna get all kinds of cranky with me. That's fine. Life goes on. You know, about a week ago, I was going through some stuff and I started counting up the albums I've done. And, you know, you figure one a week, right? So roughly 52 a year. This last year, the last half, I was doing some EPs on Monday, you know, catching up on a little bit of backlog there. I've got about low 80s is my total count for albums reacted to, listened to fully, multiple times, explored, so on. I didn't go through the list, but based off of this album and how I feel about this album, I feel like Black Star would make top 10 for me of the 80 so that I've heard. It's amazing. It's amazing. And for me, it's amazing in all the categories that I care about the most, right? It's got great production, but it's nice and lean and clean. And even though I like loud and aggressive music, the production is just, God, you can just have it on. And I was right. I remember saying in the reaction how this is a great album in the sense that you can listen to it closely and pay attention to the words and really get a lot of meaning from it, or you can put it on and it can exist in the background and it sounds great in the background, and it does. It really does, in my opinion. And so this is, God, it's kind of the first album I feel like I've experienced where I love it in both circumstances. Close listening, really paying attention, and just on in the background. The light little drum taps, some of the piano, all those different elements that exist. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Which made me realize, as I've been doing this channel, every now and then people ask me, okay, well, since you're exploring hip-hop and getting into it, and, you started from the beginning in a sense, what album would you recommend to people who don't like it, have these ideas of what it is, don't really know where to start? This one. Start with Black Star, because it's got production that's great in an easy to digest kind of way, It's got lyrics that are incredible. I don't think there's any swearing. I don't recall any swearing at all. I wrote that down as a note. I didn't really, pay super close attention to that just because I swear like a sailor. So it doesn't really ping when people are not swearing, or when they are. That's all normal language to me, right? The message is incredible. There's no drug use and violence or anything that even comes close to glorifying something like that. Even though, typically that's something I've learned. Rap doesn't really do that, which is nice. But that is a misconception that exists within rap, or toward rap, I should say. And it's just, I was going to say it's incredible, but I think I've said that like 7 times already. I think this is a brilliant place for anybody who has these negative ideas about hip-hop, rap. This is a brilliant place to start. Because these two motherfuckers are incredibly smart. They're very well spoken. They do such a great job of constructing their thoughts into complicated verses and rhythm schemes that a newbie, probably wouldn't catch on, because it took me a while to catch on to rhyming schemes and the internal structures and stuff like that. But it's there. In the way some of these things are being said, they're undeniable. And the awareness that exists is fantastic. And the desire to strive for something greater is incredible. And so this is a brilliant album in that regard. I think for anybody who is a newbie, or anybody who has someone they want to get into hip-hop, start here. Black Star. Incredible album. Something else I really enjoyed this week listening to this, having recently done Liquid Swords, another New York style album, right? I've been playing Illmatic here and there recently over the last couple, 6-8 weeks or so. I'll put it on. I'm finally starting to experience the regional sound. I've been aware of this. I understand it, but for me, it's a little tough because I bounce from album to album, from artist to artist, from time period to area, to all these different things. So I've never really had a batch of music where I kind of exist in the same region, in the same time period, and can catch on to that sound. But just because of Liquid Swords, having done that recently, listening to Illmatic a little bit on my own here and there, and then listening to this one, I feel like I'm starting to settle into that New York sound, which makes me again say I feel like Southern rap, Southern production is going to be something I fall in love with, because anytime these songs slow down, I love it. Like, what is it? Liberation, I think. One of the, almost the last track on Outkast's Equimini. Fantastic song. I love that song. I love the production on that song. I love that slow roll. Hell, even Kanye's track, Ride Slow, right? That's a great fucking song. I love the sound in that song. Fourth Chamber, Respiration, Astronomy, Thieves in the Night. Like all these songs that just kind of have this slower, kind of a chill, both in attitude and almost in temperature, kind of cold feel to it. I love it. I really do love it. And so I'm excited to do what I did with this in terms of experiencing the New York sound, kind of realizing the New York sound, and shifting over into the South a little bit and experiencing that. Because I think, from what I've heard, from what I've experienced, I think I'm going to enjoy the Southern sound the most. Who knows? We'll see. What else do I have here? Not a lot to say. I mean, that's one thing that is difficult with an album that is great. You just praise it and praise it and praise it. That's it, right? My 3 favorite tracks: Respiration, number 1, Thieves in the Night, number 2, and Astronomy, number 3. Those are my top 3. Love it. Love all 3 of those tracks. But even the other ones, Brown Skin Lady is fantastic. Definition and Redefinition are cool. I like Children's Story, even though it's kind of a goofy little thing the way it's presented, but I think it's just, again, so well said. The lyrics and the verses in this album are top-notch. Top-notch. I fucking love it. Knowledge of self, determination, hater players. I mean, even, I appreciate everybody who left comments about B-Boys Will Be Boys, I guess Break Boys, and how the sound of that track, it kind of threw me off a little bit during the reaction, but people are saying it's supposed to kind of represent like a cypher out in the park with, rap battles and stuff like that. So that makes more sense. I understand that sound a lot more. I would say the only downside of the album is the final track, Twice in a Lifetime. And not because it's bad, but because it has to follow Respiration and Thieves in the Night. And how do you do that? How do you follow those 2 tracks? Because I don't think anybody can. Honestly, my favorite lines from the album come from Thieves in the Night. Not strong, only aggressive, because the power ain't directed. That's why we are subjected to the will of the oppressive, not free. We're only licensed, not live. We're just exciting, because the captors own the masters to what we're writing. Fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal. That's amazing. And even that whole verse, lots of people left comments saying, probably one of the best verses in hip-hop. Yeah, I think you could make that argument. I really do. It's so well done. A lot of people have mentioned Black on Both Sides. That, I was actually planning on doing that album prior to doing this one, before doing this one. But it just so happened, with some little magic in Discord, I was talked into this one instead. But Black on Both Sides is definitely up there. Doing some albums by Talib Kweli. Hell yeah. Like, both these guys are brilliant. Brilliant. So yeah, I mean, I just don't have much else to say other than phenomenal album. Probably a top 10 for me. I haven't gone through that. I haven't really thought about that. What would be in my top 10? Matt Villainey's up there. Fucking Food's up there. LP's up there. Good Kid, Mad City's up there. This one's up there. Shit, I don't know. It's hard to remember them all off the top of my head. Blonde is up there for sure. Anyway, I think if I took my whole list of completed albums and put them in the, what do they call it? The fucking, with the grids. I can't remember what it's called. And move stuff around. I bet Black Star would end up top 10. I think it would. There you go. I mean, I'm just going to sit here all night and say I loved it, because I did. And I love it. I love it because I can listen to it closely. I love it because I can have it on the background and enjoy the production. It's across the board. It's fantastic. Fantastic album. The only thing that upsets me about this album is that it's considered underground. Like, why? Why? And, There's going to be a video on Monday, a conversations with the community. It's me and Will. We're talking about Drake again, and we kind of get into that. And it just, and it's not a hip hop thing either. This exists in rock. This exists in, just music in general. What is popular versus what is amazing, and that whole thing. And I won't open that can of worms up. This is just additional thoughts. This isn't an hour-long rant. Right. Tomorrow is week 3 of the BOOG, Bob's Underground Artist Gauntlet. Week 3 is very important. We've got the top 10 tracks for the month of January, and we're going to do a bracket. We're going to pit them against each other. We're going to vote out of 2, which one was the better. There's going to be this progression thing. And then we're going to vote on the top 3 for the night, for the month. So that each track, the number ones for each week basically get a pass on the brackets. All the other 8 got to battle it out. And then whoever wins those brackets becomes the third. And then we're going to vote on the top 3 from the remaining 3. That's the idea. That's not set in stone. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. But if we need to improve that, if we have a way to make it better, obviously we'll do that. So that's going to be based on you guys' feedback. And then Friday, there's a guy who goes by the name of Lupe Fiasco, and he's got an album called Food and Liquor. And I'm going to check that out, and I'm looking forward to it because people have told me over and over again, Lupe Fiasco, amazing lyrics. The guy is going to literally teach a fucking course at MIT on it. I'm all for it. It's probably going to be like a 4-hour video. My brain is probably going to break down 3 hours in, and I'm just going to be drooling on the microphone. But that's okay. All good fun, right? All good fun. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the BOOG. BOOG.